Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from L's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to show you some of my top 10 favorite triangle basketball plays that you can use against different man and zone defenses. So let's just get down to the clipboard and let's check these out. Okay, so in this first triangle play, obviously we're going to have the entry pass and player 1 going down to the low corner. At this time, what we are going to have is player 5, he's going to pop out and he's going to set a back screen on player 1, and player 1 is going to cut towards the rim. Now, he could be open for that layup. If he is not, player 5 is going to clear out towards that corner. And let's say he wasn't open and player 1 is now covered in that low post. He now needs to go and set a back screen on player 3, who is going to use that back screen. He's going to go in front of that screen. He's not going to go behind. That's a no-no. He's going to go in front. Remember, rubbing shoulders with player 1. And he's going to cut towards that net. Now, if he's open, definitely hit him up for that layup. If he's not open, he's going to go down towards this low post, and he's going to be now setting up the triangle offense once again. Now, we can now run a reverse around the perimeter to get it back over to this side. Now, let me show you my second play, which is the reversal. This is a great play to run. We're going to have player 2 screen for player 1, who's going to then pop up top, and player 4 is going to pass him the ball. Now, this is going into play number 2. At this time, after this screen, what's going to happen is player 2 is going to go down towards that low post, and player 3 is going to be setting up that screen for player 5. Player 5 is going to pop through, and he's going to pop up towards the free throw line extended. Both of these players are going to be setting screens, so it's going to be a staggered screen, and he could be open for a mid-range or three-point shot. If he's not open, what's going to happen now is we'll still have player 1 pass to player 5, but now player 1 goes down into this low post. We have now set up the triangle offense once again. Now, after setting the triangle up once again, we can go into our third basketball play that I'll show you. That second play was just player 5 swinging the ball around so that when he cuts baseline and he pops out, he could be open for that shot. Now, going into this third play with the triangle, what we're going to have here is player 5, he's going to do a dribble handoff with player 1. Now, all three of these plays have been against a man-to-man defense so far. Player 1 is going to use that screen, and player 2 is now also going to be screening for player 5. Player 5, he's going to use that screen, and he's going to be cutting baseline towards the rim. Now, player 1 could take that shot. He can also pass to player 5 for the layup. Those are both different options that could happen. However, we can now conclude that obviously the 24-second shot clock is up, but also the fact that we can now have player 5 pop up and screen one of these two players. Personally, I prefer him screening player 4. Let's say none of these players were open. Player 5 is going to screen player 4. Player 4 is going to use that screen. He's going to cut towards the rim. And this is kind of a nice backup option. Now let's go over, after these three plays, over to a 2-3 zone, and we can check out a couple of different plays out of the triangle. Now the 2-3 zone is probably going to be shifted just like so, and we're going into play number 4. Okay, so now with play number 4 against the 2-3 zone, we're going to have that same entry pass that went into the triangle. The defense will then shift just like this. From here, what we're going to look to do is have player 5, he's going to be screening up for player 3, and he's going to be using that screen. Now, what's going to happen is player 5 is going to roll towards the basket. We're now going 2-on-1 against player 5 in the low post, which is going to probably collapse the defense, and also now collapse possibly player 2 down to guard player 3, and player 3 red into the low post, which now creates two different players open for a three-point shot. Now, of course, if the defense does not collapse and they stay spread out, player 3 could take that shot. He could also try and drive between player 5 and 3, and he could have player 5 open. However, you're maybe only going to see this 0.1% of the time. Generally speaking, either player 3 will have that shot or the defense will collapse, and we're going to have player 2 and 4 open for a 3-point shot. In this fifth play, what I'm going to show you, we're going to have player 2, he's going to pop up towards the point where player 3 is going to pass him the ball. Now we're going to have player 4 pop up towards that extended key where he's going to receive that pass. Now what we will have is player 5, he's going to be setting a screen on player 4. Player 1 is going to be running back around towards the free throw line extended. We're now going to be having the defense shift over to player 1. The pass is also going to go to player 1. We're going to be now having player 3. He's going to be doing a cut across towards that low post. Now player 5 is going to be shifting over. Player 3 is going to be moving up. And we're going to have player 4. He's going to go down towards this low corner. Now from here, we could have player 4 open for a 3-point shot. We could also have, if player 3 red gets down there quick enough, we could have player 1 pass down towards the low post, and then, depending on how fast these lower 3 players shifted, we could have player 2 cut down the middle of the key for an open mid-range shot. Again, remembering to read the defense and see what the defense is giving us. Now in our sixth play, we're going to go up against a 3-2 zone defense. Now most likely, the defense is going to be shifted just like this. We're going to have player 1 pass to player 3 like normal, and he's going to cut down towards this low post. He can obviously be possibly open for that 3-point shot. However, what we're going to be doing here is having player 1 get the ball. Most likely, the defense will then shift like this. What we're going to have here, though, is player 5 getting the ball into the low post, which now we can have player 4 cut towards, in between these 2 players, towards the middle of the key, which then could collapse these 2 players and bring player 2 over towards the open 3-point shot. This could also, by getting player 5 the ball in the low post, we could also have the ability to have player 3 collapse and double team player 5, which we could then have player 1 open for a 3-point shot, or player 1 screening for player 3 to get that 3-point shot. So there's a couple of different options out of this. And then we can also still set up the motion, which again is a really, really good play to run. And out of the motion, even with player 5 having the ball, what we would have is player 5 to find the man who's open, which in this case could be player 2. And we're going to have these 2 players cut baseline, just like I showed you before. They're cutting baseline. We're going to have player 4 now receive that ball. Player 3 is popping out. Player 4 passes to player 3. Player 1 goes down to low post. Player 4 cuts down. We now have our triangle, and depending on how fast the defense shifts, we could have a couple of different open shots. Quite a few different possibilities for open shots. Now, again, reading the defense and seeing what the defense is giving you, that's the whole thing with the triangle offense. Now in play number 7, of course, player 1 has already passed to player 3. He's going to cut down towards this low post. What we can have here, though, is a fantastic option, which is instead of focusing on the triangle and trying to score out of the triangle, we could have player 5 go and set a screen away for a player like player 4 who can cut towards the middle of the key and could be open. This could also collapse the defense, even though it's a man-to-man defense we're going up against right here, for player 4 to kick it out for the 3-point shot. Now setting up play number 8, again still in the triangle offense, we can have, let's say player 3 is one of our best players. We can have player 5 set a screen out against player 1 who can cut towards the rim. He could be open for that layup. If not, he's going to clear out. And now we're going to have player 5 set up a screen and roll with player 3. Player 3 is going to use that screen. Player 5 is going to roll towards the basket. Player 3 could take that shot, or he could pass to player 5 for that layup. Now stick with me. We have 2 more plays left for me to show you. In play number 9, what we're going to have is player 1. He's going to cut back up. He's going to set a screen for player 3, an opposite side screen. Player 5 is going to be popping out to clear out the middle of the key. The idea behind this is for player 3 to use that screen, and player 1 is going to roll towards the basket. we're going to have player 4 move down, because when player 1 gets that ball, he could go in for the layup or the dunk or the floater. However, what we want with player 4 moving down is for player 4 red and player 5 red to go and play help defense, for player 1 to now pass out to player 5 or 4 for the mid-range or 3-point shot. Now stick with me. This is our last play of the video, and if you are still here, comment below and say, yo, I am here on play number 10. Anyways, let's get down to it. What we're going to have here in play number 10, which is one of my favorite plays to run, which is now player 3 passing down to player 1, and we're going to have player 3, he's going to be setting a down screen or a pin down screen on player 5. Player 5 is going to use that screen, and he's going to be popping up towards the high post. Now, when he gets that ball, he could take that shot. However, we have player 2 also screening down for player 4, who is now open at the point for a mid-range or 3-point shot as well. So we have both of our supposed post players open for a shot. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, let us know in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you guys again later on today for our second video of the day.